Kids don't understand that. Kids don't understand that.
Wow, this is political propaganda.
Kids don't understand that.
Can't play well, play loud.
Abandoned us in our hour of me.
Kids don't understand that. Kids don't understand that.
Turn into like a stone.
Apologies to everyone watching.
Kids don't understand that. Welcome everybody. It's a Thursday live stream. Yay! We got Zach and Jessica. Boo. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good
Good.
for Thursday.
Good for Thursday. Good.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone in the chat. We got Ghostman saying hello. And Scribbling the World says kids don't understand that. And we got Tobias. Hey Tobias, you got a new thank you for the what are they, emojis? Emojis. That's what they're called, right? I'm gonna pick one of them to upload. I did make a guys emoji, so you guys can use that.
Perfect.
So Aaron Olson suggested that one, so I made that one.
Good
real quick.
idea.
Anyway, so I don't know how to find it. I don't know how to use it, but I know it's there, Tobias. So you can actually see if maybe Zach can figure out how to use it because you're a member.
Oh,
if you guys
there it is.
you can,
Guys!
let me see it. Let me see it. I don't see it yet.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
My comments must be delayed. Oh, it doesn't even show up on. Look at that. How pathetic! It doesn't even show up on.
Yeah, you got to go to YouTube to actually see it.
Lame. Okay, well, thank you for using it on YouTube. That's dumb, man. I need to tell StreamYard to fix that. That's annoying. I know I can pull in stuff from Twitch, so anyway. So we titled the show, what did we title it? How Fuzzzy faked his own death. Hopefully he shows up to explain this.
Yeah.
Or we'll have to make something up.
Yeah.
We'll just make it up. So anyway, I invited. Oh wait, no, I didn't invite Art yet. I need to send Art an email.
Do you have Art's email?
I do. I got it just a second ago, but then I went live and forgot to
Nice.
use it. Where's my?
That was fun yesterday, but we didn't really get to talk to Art.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an Art discussion.
I mean, like, it was really good. It's because Art didn't even know about Macroverse.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, and I guarantee that this Friday, tomorrow, that's probably going to be what the topic is because Art was super into it.
Yeah, it seemed like he liked it.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, it's like that's, there's a huge audience. We have a huge audience over there, and on the, I don't know what to call it, the independent comic revolution on Twitter. I don't know what to call it.
Okay.
But, there's a huge amount of consumers and whatnot that, and if we could get more people on that bandwagon, that just helps everybody,
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it'd be super cool if we had if you had Cithra and then Art got on like the chrono mechanics and his black and white and then a lot more big creators came over and they bring their audience and then that became like I would call it more Netflix than HBO, but yeah, the Netflix of comics because.
Yeah, I really hope it works out. I hope they can advertise Macroverse, I hope they can advertise and get that audience up there and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That would be sweet. So I like the vision and the idea.
And I like their business model.
Yeah. I like
Also, I
the
like creators. You know, it's kind of one of those weird things where it's like where the creators actually are. It feels like they're fans.
yeah.
You know, which is rare. You know.
Yeah. So cool. Hey Mia, welcome.
Hello.
Mia's here.
How's
Mama
everybody
Mia.
doing?
Oh, sorry.
I'm good.
Oh man, I hope I didn't make Fuzzy feel uncomfortable now. He's not gonna show up.
Look at this.
He'll show up. He'll show up.
Fuzzy, I'm sorry if please email me if I'm making you feel weird. If you're listening to this anyway.
Gonna say he needs to show up because there's a bunch of people in the chat that will miss him if he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's like the number one guy people want. And Mia.
Right?
They don't come
That's
here.
really why they come here.
Yeah, they all come here for Fuzzzy.
He's got a good online persona for not self promotion, but just it's the right fit because he's fun to he's a good entertainer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this group in general has good chemistry.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I agree.
and it makes for an entertaining experience.
Mm-hmm. And productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For one. Oh man, I'm actually working on a new page.
Yeah, me too.
Well, actually, it's a page I've been putting off, so I really have to do this.
Do it.
Yes. It's not super exciting, but it's kind of necessary.
I understand.
It's what makes everything look good.
So it's a new page of your
Mhm.
short pitch idea.
There's a couple pages and spreads I skipped. I wasn't sure really what direction to take them in, so I'm coming back to them and I have a better idea now. So, and now that I'm going through and polishing up everything and doing revisions, it's a good time to do it.
Yeah. Well, good.
I'm still kind of doubting the strength of the page, but it'll get there. And at the end of the day, it'll do its purpose, and you flip the page after that. You go to the next one.
Yeah. That's the good thing about comics is you're not supposed to hang it on your wall and
Mhm. Yeah.
even though you want to make pages that are, eligible for that, but
Mm-hmm. But I don't want to get so hung up on like making every page perfect, because it's not all pages are home runs. I mean, they should still be strong and serve a purpose, but yeah, I'm not hanging every one on my wall.
yeah.
Not really hanging any of them on my wall. So I don't have my screen shared right now. I'll do it in a little bit because I thumbnail with pencils.
That's fine. Let's see what the comments say. Ghostman asks, what are some good website tools and books to learn how to draw better? I'm glad you asked. Well, I obviously got cognitive drawing, which I suggest giving that a shot. Website tools, there's Website tools. Website
Pinterest.
tools. Okay. Websites and tools.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's so many good resources on YouTube just to learn drawing and stuff. It's just I don't know any directly how to point people to. Zach, you had the guy who did a lot of the color theory stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Forget his
Did you
name.
get to watch any of his stuff?
Yeah, I really like it too.
Yeah, he's really good at explaining in a very simple way how to think about color.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this?
Marco Busey.
Yeah, that was it.
Marco BC.
Yeah, Bucci.
I was way off. Oh, cool. Oh, I've seen some of his stuff around. Yes.
Yeah, and he I don't know if he still works for Disney or if he worked for Disney. So,
And then we got another question. Any tips on writing? I'd just say
read a
bullet point
bunch.
list.
Read.
Yeah.
That's a kind of weird thing to say. You want to learn how to write? Read.
Yeah, that's really true though.
Mhm.
Like, watch a lot of stories, read a lot of stories, consume a lot of that stuff, and then you'll start getting kind of. I think you'll start getting kind of your own vision of how to do things and your own sensibilities and likes and dislikes, and a lot of things will kind of come more naturally too. So there is something important in consuming content to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff on how to do it too, but that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really feel like that's the answer to becoming a unique writer. Still looking at all the how-to content, but who knows?
I was going to say for drawing, I was kind of surprised now how you can find a lot of really cool tutorials on Pinterest.
Yeah.
A lot of really good, but you can easily get sucked into the black hole of Pinterest. So be careful.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna go in here and find some reference, and then 2 hours go by, and you're like, I didn't get anything done. I pinned like 30 cats.
Yeah, right. I found some cool muffin recipes, but
Yeah.
I came here for drawing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Pinterest.
Muffin recipes.
Love and hate it.
I haven't done the Pinterest thing yet. I think
Don't.
purposely did it.
Don't. It's a trap.
You like wasting time worse than Facebook.
Yeah, and Twitter combined. Sheesh.
Mm-hmm. No, it does have its tools, but it's kind of like
Yeah.
you gotta know when to stop.
Mhm.
It's addictive.
I've seen how some artists have used it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but I don't want to play that game. I mean, maybe if I was starting out, I would use, like make a vision, use it to create reference and all that stuff, but
That's what you think you do, but then
okay.
I'm not even joking. It's like I have like 30 folders of like reference and inspiration and things like that. But the amount of time that I built just because you pin up an image, but you never look at the image again.
That's kind of true, right?
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, and then all of a sudden you have like 30,000 images saved, and you're like, when am I ever going to go through and look at any of these again? I just wasted weeks of my life in accumulated minutes and hours and whatnot just to build all this stuff. But in all actuality, I'll probably never come back to it. It's more efficient to like go and save it into like a reference folder on your computer.
Yes.
So that way, when you go into your reference folder in your computer, it doesn't take you away. It doesn't, because that's what Pinterest constantly does. It's constantly trying to draw your eye away from the thing that you're looking to.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I do. I'll grab things and throw them into a folder if I know I really want to.
Yeah, it's way better. It's way more efficient to do because then when you're just like, oh, I'll go. What does that building look like, or does it look tribal and stuff? You go and you look at on your folder in your computer, but it doesn't take you away to like to find more images and more inspiration and stuff.
Yeah.
the point of Pinterest. It's a drug. It really is.
Sadly, kind of is. Yeah.
Mm.
And the hard thing, sometimes what I really dislike about Pinterest, you have to be logged in to see a good quality image that you want to pin. And normally you can like right click and save that. But if you want to go to their website to try and find like a larger file to save, it just kind of puts you down a rabbit hole, and it's hard. Sometimes it's difficult to find a good size file to save. So but whatever I put in my computer, I organize into files, and then I tag everything with certain keywords. So if I need to look up armor, I pop in the word armor and all my images come up, but it takes time to actually build that.
But that's way more efficient than Pinterest.
Yeah.
I've actually I'll save the Pinterest pictures or just copy and paste it into that PureRef program. So it's kind of like a conglomeration of what I like. But I also
that PureRef was super cool. Thank you for showing that.
Great.
PureRef.
Yeah.
It's what I use to show like my references on the side, and then I have the title of what I'm working on the top. Kind of like overlays above your like drawing stuff that you have up, and like I can set it so I don't click on it by accident.
Ooh.
But, it's like an endless canvas kind of thing. So I'll copy and paste like references on there.
Just love that. I want to use that on my next comic. I don't feel like I need it yet for Phobos, but for the next thing where I need to like really source a lot of things and keep it, in grab in reaching distance, that's so good.
I will have to check that out.
Never seen it before. Man, I went on Doug's stream last night. He was streaming by himself, and I was like, I'll jump on there because I haven't talked to him in a while. See how his, surgery and all that stuff went. And he had a bunch of people on, and they were just talking so much garbage that's like would have shut my stream down instantly.
Wait, were you on? Was Mecha McCheese there and everything?
I don't remember everybody who was there, but it was it was just funny because it's like, man, how do you not get shut down?
I just don't. I think Doug doesn't care if he gets shut down though.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain amount of you just don't care. Yeah. So.
But is it surprising thing that like none of the words got tagged by YouTube or flagged?
Well, I've had streams where it just gets turned off because of something that we can't even figure out. And you just don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is that really pushes those buttons for him. But our streams are so mellow compared to other people's streams.
I like it that way though.
I do too, yeah.
It's a nice break that we don't have to be trying to well, I mean, I like that there's like no arguments that happen on the stream, that we're just kind of casual.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay.
I think the most heated it's ever gotten was like when Fuzzzy and I have a disagreement and we're just having a counterpoint discussion.
Yeah. I don't know if that's heated though.
I was gonna say.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that's the most heated. Like on a scale of Doug to Jason.
We're the polar opposites.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even get that heated on art stream. So, except if you do something that really, really ticks off art and gets all passionate about something.
Mm.
But then you just hear him getting like, passionate. It's not even like anger.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I always tiptoe back and forth if I should be concerned or not and how to approach it. Like a friend of mine, not a friend, but a guy I follow and I like and support he's kind of getting some backlash because of his values that we all share. Let's just say that. And YouTube will consider that hate speech and then ban his and shut his channel down. And he's just kind of like taking it like a grain of salt, even though he has 400,000 subscribers. He's just like, whatever, I'll run this thing until the wheels fall off and then I'll go somewhere else. And I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of weird. And I was thinking about this morning on my way to work and I'm like, well, there is a little bit of an art to not necessarily talking in code, but almost like parables, like how Jesus spoke. It's like he was asked direct questions that would get him in trouble, and he would give an answer that only certain people would understand. And it was so brilliant. And it's like, I like that theory of just like, maybe we don't hit on the subjects, but we can talk about it in ways that only certain people will understand, And I think that's cool. I think that'd be a cool way to approach it. So
So that if we have opinions, we can safely discuss them without worry.
Yeah. Like eventually we'll just have a bunch of code words and we can just start these big old conversations. And only the people who follow the stream will get it.
I don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about cheese sticks and warblies. I don't even know what a warbly is.
We got H.P. Lovecraft. So
see, you're just saying the name.
No, I don't.
We all kind of shudder.
I don't think that's what shuts it down, though, because that's a iconic.
Mm-hmm. It was the other one.
Yeah, it's what H.P. Lovecraft talks about, or not talks about, but whatever.
So funny. I love it.
Wait.
Okay.
Last night was weird, dude, because we didn't do a D&Q last night. It ended up being just a work stream.
Why?
It was mostly a lot. Everybody has a lot of things going on at the moment. A lot of the artists out there are trying to finish up their projects. Mike specifically needed to get the pages done for the secret project he's working on, and so everybody's working on, got a lot of stuff to work on. So we felt like we needed to get things done instead of just doing a drawing competition, which ended up being really fun. So
cool.
Yeah, basically what we're doing right now, but we did it last night for 5 hours.
After a hard day of work, you go and do another
hard day of work. Yep, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Except we're all just making fun of Matt Weldon because he's saying all kinds of wacky things. Weldon's a fun guy.
I have not met him yet.
If he's awake, he'll come on here every once in a great blue moon, Jason.
Yeah. I keep sending an invite, so
yeah, maybe one day.
I actually made a little email group so I can just send it, like type in live stream friends, and it's just like it just hits everyone.
Nice.
So I'll just add people to that as we find them.
There.
Here's an interesting thing. C.S. Lewis said, when speaking truth, you have to tiptoe past the dragons.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wisdom. So that's what we should call YouTube. We should call it the Dragon.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So that way, if anybody comes in, be like, "What are you guys talking about?" The Dragon.
Oh, cool. I like dragons.
Not this one.
Come and hang out.
This is one dungeon you don't want to be in.
Well, it's official. Shelly, my wife, is gonna pack and fulfill all the domestic orders now.
Nice.
So she's excited because that gives her a summer job to make more money.
Woo!
And she's already like wrangled one of her friends into it.
Cool.
Hey, an excuse to get together.
Yeah.
I'm over for tea and packing.
All right.
So, is there anybody here a tea person, or is everybody here coffee people?
I'm a tea person.
You know, I want to say I'm still a tea person, but I've been drinking a lot more coffee lately.
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, what kind of tea? What kind of tea do you drink?
A lot of flavored black teas. Tasty, no pun intended. No, I several years ago, I used to actually do a little home business where I sold tea. So that was really fun.
Oh wow.
Mhm. So, but I don't know. I haven't really explored any new ones, but I'm sorry, tea. I've been drinking a lot of coffee. And then we got our espresso machine, and then it's like lattes.
Sorry.
I can have them whenever.
I'm laughing at this comment. Have you heard of Lowcat Bible? The Bible was rewritten in Lowcat. Lolcat. Jesus is happy cat. God is ceiling cat. Invisible cat is Holy Ghost. And basement cat is the devil.
Nice.
I've never heard of that. I will look it up though.
Is it the whole Bible?
That'd be a lot of work.
What translation is that?
It's a lot more cats.
I read the Lolcat translation.
Holy crap! No way.
Are you looking it up, Zach?
Yeah.
Is it?
Hold on. Oh, what the?
Is it?
This doesn't sound good.
Yeah. I'll wait till my
Oh boy.
till Zach approves it.
I have to approve it.
I'm nervous.
I guess I gotta keep something going on the stream, so I'll keep drawing while you're looking at it.
It's
Mark, and you can
expensive.
put it on
Holy
me.
crap. Into beginning, ceiling cat made a disguise and the earths and
Oh
stuff.
my goodness. And stuff.
You had me at Inta.
Here we go. Jason, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
You have it on screen? Where?
Yeah.
Blammo.
The little cat Bible.
Oh wow.
Wait.
2010. That's been around a while.
Yeah. I want to see how many, if it's, hold on. It's got one customer review. This thing is $117. Why is it $117?
It just must
wait,
be
wait, there's
out of print.
used ones. Used ones.
For like $5.
You can't look inside it. You gotta.
No,
That's
the only thing is this. I was trying to see how many pages it is. It should be
Yeah.
It's a board book.
Oh, there's no. Huh.
There's only one left in stock, Zach.
I know.
Copy
Oh!
for $170.
We're
Yeah.
good. I'm good. I don't need to explain that to my wife.
I was gonna say that next. Honey,
Why is there $117 charged on our?
I know we want to go out to
Amazon.
dinner, but look what I found.
Yeah, I bought it for you. I thought it'd be a good present. For what? I don't know. It's my Father's Day present. Isn't that coming up or something?
Yeah.
Cookies. All right.
So Jason, when it's Father's Day, is there any like, I don't know. I'm kind of weird when it comes to holidays, where like it's my birthday and stuff. I just want to be left alone. I don't know if anybody else shares that
Yeah.
sort of sentiment.
Yeah, I can go that way easily. My wife one time did that. She like got the kids together and like, okay, we're going over to my parents. Because I know you just want to hang out and draw and do stuff around the house. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah. To myself. Whoa. What holiday is it?
It was like a Father's Day or something, I don't know. But that only happened once. But yeah, it was great.
I would like to celebrate this day of celebrating myself by myself. For myself.
See, that's how it'd be in the beginning of the day, where I like the quiet time and just time to stretch out. But then by the evening, it's like, let's go do something.
Yeah, that's like the opposite for me. I'm like in the morning, I'm like, okay, I can go out and do something, or I can stay here. And then by the end of the day, when my wife's like, let's go do something, I'm like, I don't want to.
I'm the same way.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, time to pull this reference together.
On Pinterest.
No.
3 hours later, the whole screen. Look at all these recipes I found, guys.
Didn't they make a show that was based off the like the Nailed It? Yeah, it's called Nailed It.
Really?
I didn't know there was a show.
Yeah, on Netflix, they made a show called Nailed It, and it's based off of like that meme of you see it on Pinterest, and they make like Santa Claus cookies or something and look really cool, and then people try to do it and it's like a disaster, and then they
Pinterest
can't nail it.
Yeah. I have experience with one of those projects.
Do tell. Do go on.
It turned out okay. It was just way more work than it needed to be. It was making a coffee table type thing out of a pallet. And I was like, I got all these pallets. And this would be great in my office. But no one said how difficult it is to pull apart pallets because they're infused together with these crazy nails that destroy the wood when you try to rip them apart. And so anyway, I got it done and it looks good. It's just not nearly as easy as they made it sound.
Uh-huh. You gotta get those non-nailed infused pallets. That was your problem.
Yeah. And then the other pallets I had were like this practically recycled wood, and so they just start falling apart as soon as you mess with them. So yeah, it just wasn't quite as ideal as I thought it would be in my mind. But I had kind of got the idea, and then Chelly looked up something, and I believe it was from Pinterest. I was like, oh, here. I was like, oh yeah, it will be easy.
Oh crap! No, Google Images just directed me to Pinterest.
Oh no! Close your eyes, quick.
Go back! Go back!
You're not safe.
See, but
Even
then it
Google.
like, shows me like an image this big. I'm like, that's a good reference image, but now I have to go down the rabbit hole to find a decent size of it.
Mhm.
Pinterest.
Y'all ever watched Amazing World of Gumball?
I haven't
Mm-mm.
heard of it.
It's a cartoon on Cartoon Network. It's a kid show, but it has some really good humor. And there was this one episode where like the main character and his brother are like sucked into the world of the internet. Like they watch a few videos and then they're like, okay, yeah, that's enough. But then they hear like a notification sound as they're walking away, and they literally are like sucked onto the screen. And then like I think all of their life passes by or something like that.
Hmm.
That's terrifying.
Well, it was amusing. It wasn't as scary as I made it sound.
But more accurate than we want to admit.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, and by the time I'm done, there's like 300 tabs open on my Firefox. Oops.
Wait, what was Trump supposed to be doing today about the social media thing? I just remembered. We're all talking about it, but Trump said he was doing something today,
Oh,
specifically about like because they decided. I forgot exactly how he tweeted something, and then Twitter actually tried to fact check him by using a CNN report that didn't have any facts in it. So Trump was like, "Okay, this is ridiculous. I'm going to go after Twitter now." So and then it led him down a rabbit hole of trying. And now he's like, "I'm going to expose the fraud that's going on in social media."
Mm-hmm.
So he said he was going to do something today. I have no idea what he's going to do.
Oh, wow.
He's going to make a second Twitter account. That's what he's going to do.
Yep. I've not been following that story.
That was weird. A rabbit hole of a story.
It's the Pinterest.
The only president that gets angry at social media.
Yeah.
Modern president, modern problems.
Yep. Meh. Okay, well, that's a dead end. Whatever. Moving on.
I've been going through cognitive drawing trying to make these videos, and I'm realizing how cartoony my style has become. You know, because cognitive drawing is all from reference from models and stuff, and so wow, it's just becoming like so apparent to me. Yeah, and yeah, I love the style, the cartoony style I have, but it's so not reality.
You know, just looking at your earlier work, I was kind of blown away because you on your Twitter, you actually have some of your earlier work where you were doing like, you know, your original pages that you sent off and whatnot, and then looking at what you do now, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot more time and had a lot more reference to make sure everything was just right. Polished it in a way, you know, to please the right people.
Yeah,
Is that
I'm
how you
having.
discovered that it's all about trying to please yourself?
Yeah,
It was like some thoughtful journey. Sorry.
yeah. No, I definitely had two styles at a young age. There was the like really trying to be realistic to get work, and then my own thing. And Phobos was really my own, just fun. and they really diverged. Diverged, is that right? Well, they split it. They really went the opposite directions, and then I would get like companies interested in hiring me to do a comic, and then I would do like a cover for them, and it would be my super crazy style, my fun style, and they're like, that just seems like it's a different artist than what we saw. And I'm like, yeah, this is the fun style. And they're like, no,
We don't want fun.
we want realistic and 20
Like a
hours.
commercial. We need you to sell things.
We want commercial. Yeah. Exactly. And then I became a storyboard artist, where it's all about commercials.
Literal
Sorry.
commercials.
But it was a good lesson, good learning experience.
The artist journey.
Yeah.
So did you ever get the guitar thing?
The guitar thing, like the track, the song, music stuff. Is that what you're talking about? The cable. No,
Yeah.
I forgot. I need to actually go on Amazon and find that. Yeah. It's just now on a pile on another pile somewhere. And I'm like, oh, I need to get that before I forget, before it gets buried in the pile under the other pile.
Story of my
It's a pile on a pile on another pile.
All the things that I want to do, forget that I wanted to do them. Sunny Philly asks for John Smith, any updates on publishing issues with cognitive drawing? No, there's not really any publishing issues. It's actually all approved, and I've approved everything for print. There was a little the first page, no, page number 2, I had a panel of the researcher, I forget the name, who in 1909 came up with this testing effect theory, and I drew this, what I think is supposed to be a woman, as an old man, and so a couple people pointed it out. So I made that change and submitted that to the printer last week and said, hey, can you just swap this page out so that I don't say that this lady is a man who came up with the method. And then they gave me a revised proof, and it looked like the color was a little tweaked on it. And so I just said, make sure the colors match. And so actually this morning I gave them the final approval to go to print. The thing that's we've been hung up on is the fulfillment company. So everything's getting made. It's just the fulfillment company has been really dumb. They guaranteed, they gave me a quote and sold me on this idea. They've been trying to get my business for over a year, and they, gave me these quotes and guarantees and all this stuff. And I was like, I want to make sure these prices are right because I'm going to put them into my campaign. And they're like, yes, it's what it's going to be. It might fluctuate a little bit, but whatever. So anyway, then they sent me an email like a day before the campaign closed saying, it was a mass email saying, by the way, we're not taking any clients, jobs who don't have shipping fees of more than $15,000 when my campaign only had like $8,000 collected in shipping. And so I was like, wow, that's really out of the blue. and completely opposite of what they said before, because before they were like, well, we don't demand as many orders as other companies do, but now they demand way more orders or just high shipping charges. And so I emailed them and I was like, this is kind of dumb. I based everything on your shipping charges and your guarantees, and now you're telling me that you can't do it. And then they emailed me back after a couple of days and were like, oh, well, we can still do yours, I guess. And I'm like, okay. So can you give me the address so I can give it to my printer? Because this was the dilemma. I needed to give the printer their address so they could ship the stuff to them. And I hesitated when they sent me that last email, you know.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, well, we're going to still do it, so no worries. I was like, okay, well, I'll keep using them then. I won't ring any alarm bells just yet. And so then a couple days later, they sent me a new quote, a revised estimate, and it was like $22,000. It was like double, you know, more than double what they quoted in the first place. And they're like, oh, and you don't also hit the minimum requirement for the shipping that we said you needed, that we were going to do. So it'd have to go by boat to, and so that means we need to tack on another 3 to 6 weeks while we wait for other campaigns to finish so that they can all be packaged together. And then we need to wait, and then it would delay it another 3 to 6 weeks on top of that for shipping. And I'm like, great, there's no reason to use you at all anymore ever for anything, because you're not fast, you're not cheap. Like, there's no reason for any of this anymore. And anyway, so that was really frustrating. So I was scrambling to meet with other fulfillment companies. I met with this other one called Easy Ship a couple times, and they have a really neat system. It's kind of designed for Kickstarters and Indiegogos. So I like them and I like their system. But it would just take a little bit. It might just take too long for them to get me the estimates now. And I want to just tell my printer where to ship the books, you know?
Yeah.
And I also called my wife and I was like, hey, so this printer that was going to deliver it quickly said it's going to take it forever, like up to 3 months delayed. So I might as well just have my printer ship me the books, and it'll still be longer than what I was estimating, but it wouldn't be as long. And then we could just fulfill all the domestic orders here in a week time span or something. And I was like, can you help me with this, honey? And she's like, yes, I want to. And so I was like, okay, so that's solved. Now I just need to figure out how to ship the international orders, because it'd be a waste of time and money to have them boated to me and then shipped back across the ocean. So I got a hold of a company that I've used in the past in the UK, which fulfilled one of my older campaigns and the international orders. And they were like, yep, here's our rates. And they were like pretty much what I got quotes from the first time around. And I was like, okay, you guys are it. And so I emailed my printer this morning and said, ship all the international orders to these guys and ship the rest to me. And so they're like, okay. And so that's where we're at right now, as of this morning.
That's a roller coaster.
Right?
Yeah. And so it was pretty dramatic for me behind the scenes.
Sorry.
Hey, there's Fuzzzy.
Yeah. Well, I thought just making the book was dramatic, but you know.
Hello,
Hello.
Fuzzy.
Sorry,
how did you
sorry
get
for the title, Fuzzzy.
Well, sorry. Multiple people talking. What?
I said sorry for the title of the live stream.
Oh, no. It's funny because, so full disclosure, I just woke up.
That is
Good
the
morning.
full disclosure.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning. Yeah, I've been, working really hard the last couple weeks. And so I haven't really slept a lot in the last few days. Anyway, so I woke up and I was like, oh, man, I meant to wake up sooner than this, And then I looked at the thing and I was like, oh, man, how I have to get on the stream.
Motivation.
I was going to title it this yesterday, but because Evan was coming on, I didn't want to derail the conversation with him.
Well, I mean, you'll love the paranoia that it gave me because if you freaking like, I thought that it had to do with the fact that I wasn't coming on the streams the last 2 days.
We're all just venting about you. But
yeah, I thought it was like titled like Fuzzy's dead, basically. Like he's
dead to us.
He's gone.
Don't ever support Fuzzzy, guys. Yeah, like that kind of thing. Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
I should have given you an email warning. If I was a true friend, I would.
Who knows if I would have seen that? You know,
yeah, you're sleeping.
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Getting stuff done.
It's good to hear. Finally posted my first episode yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Not yesterday. Today.
Woohoo!
That was this morning.
To yesterday.
Well, I slept, so everything's screwed up in my head. It was, in fact, today at 7, I think. But, yeah.
Awesome.
And now I gotta
Has there been a response at all to it?
No, I gotta advertise like crazy, you know.
Okay, well, let's show it. Let's advertise it.
Well, I'm working on getting my screen to turn on.
When you're ready, we'll show the world. We will show 31 people.
31 people.
Mia, I like what you're doing with your screen. You have your title above Clip Studio. Is that what the ref program that you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see. Where this next window will pop up. So you've got this borderless kind of window. There's some thunder, so if I die, it's nice knowing you guys. But you can like copy paste. Like, let's see, when I click on what's behind it, it doesn't move.
Yep.
So it's kind of annoying if it's not out of the way, but like these two won't move. Or like, you know, if I wanted something over top of everything. So I can like right click and like paste something in or load something else. Like I've got one for my story and one for like the banner.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let's see, I'm going to do a screenshot.
Oh. Yeah, that's all you did. You just put the two together.
Yeah, I could like, you know, copy something from Pinterest or from somewhere else and just paste. And then I've got this giant folder full of stuff. And it's endless, so like if I wanted to put something way out here, I could and make life hard for myself. But yeah, I've got like little inspirations for different scenes and for characters and things like that.
And you just save that and you can open up every single time. That's so cool.
It's really awesome.
Wow.
How do you resize in the thing?
I think it has to be relative to the other pictures. Like, let's see, for instance, these are all resized to be like the same height, maybe, or maybe not those. I haven't done it in a while.
So you had to resize it before you put it in?
Well, like I'll drag a bunch of pictures in, and like these were not all the same size, but I think I went to, let's see, images. Let's see, normalize height, width, size, scale. So like if I want to, like I think that's all of these are now the same size they should be. Notice how like it's not all together. You can like click and drag. So I should be selecting just those. We'll find out. And I'm going to go to normalize. Let's do height. So now these are all like matched up.
Oh, that's nice. Just keep it organized.
Yeah, and I think you can also align or like arrange optimal. So like it fits it so they fit nicely. It's very satisfying. You just like stick a bunch of pictures in. It's like, it's nice.
Where do you download that again, Mia?
I think you can just look up Pure Ref. I will link
I'm
it
put
into
it in
the private chat. It's
free. private chat.
but they welcome donations. So I think
That's
I
awesome.
donated the second time I downloaded it.
Can you draw on it as well? Like if you want to like write out little notes?
I don't know if you can. Let's find out. I don't think you can. But you could take something from like, something else you're drawing and then just like if you're using Windows, I think the key is Shift Windows and S, and you can take a drag and drop screenshot of whatever you're working on, and then I think there's a different one for Mac's screenshot, but I haven't used Mac in a long time. But yeah,
I'll check
I
that
put the link to it in the comments, guys. I know that there was a couple comments asking what it was.
cool.
I think I'm going to just do it now too, instead of wait for my next project, because it's so cool.
It's pretty fun.
So nice. And I have all this wasted space on the right side of my screen that I don't really use when I'm drawing, so might as well fill it up.
And you can also change the color, like it wasn't originally this blue in the background, so let's see, settings, colors. You can even set it to transparent, like if you wanted just the images showing, but it's a little hard to control things that way, so I like to have a little bit of color. But if you wanted it to look a certain way or show up better or be easier on your eyes.
That's handy. Cool. Check that out. Right now, my reference is just like on layers that I call reference. And the nice thing about that is I can draw over it and write notes. But I really like that infinite canvas idea.
It is nice. I think you can write notes, like you can type notes out in Pure Ref. So you should be able to still have your notes in there.
Yeah.
It's just not as cute.
I will definitely check that out.
It's been raining like every day for the past week. Hopefully our internet doesn't go out. Or power.
What a great segue into my comic.
Oh yeah. It's been raining.
Oh,
You need to stop working on that comic so that it stops raining.
No, that's what the comic's about.
Is it always raining there?
It's the first line of the comic is it's been raining for the last 3 weeks. So
That's great.
So it's Seattle.
I have done my research, and Seattle isn't even close to the top of the most rainy cities in the U.S. So
it's actually true. Yeah, it's actually nice and sunny today too.
I did take some architecture from Seattle because I still like the look of the city, but I also took some of the architecture from Mobile as well. Mobile,
Alabama,
because that is the supposed most rainy state in the U.S., not including Hawaii, which apparently Hawaii destroys everyone else's records, by a lot. So yeah.
The question is about how much rain does it get, and then frequency. So Seattle doesn't get as nearly as much in inches.
Seattle loses out on both to a lot of different cities, and I found that fascinating because Seattle is considered by most who don't know any better to be the most rainy, and I was like, well, why? I don't know. It's just that there are more people that live in Seattle that are whinier.
I think it's the people who don't live in Seattle that are whining about it, and then we just tell people it rains to keep the crowds away.
That's really interesting. It's the people who visit that are whinier.
You grew up here, and it's like, oh yeah, it's normal. And honestly, it's just my sister-in-law from Florida, who's used to all that downpour rain, calls it a polite rain. This kind of drizzles. Can I rain a little bit today? Okay, just polite. It's more the overcast in the winter that discourages people who are used to sun.
Usually here it's like it'll rain for a hot minute and then it'll be done. It's been, I mean, it'll rain off and on, but it's been pretty overcast.
Where are you?
I'm in southern North Carolina,
Oh yeah,
kind of near Charlotte area.
I like Charlotte.
Yeah, it's
We were in Columbia, South Carolina for a little while,
nice.
but I like North Carolina.
You too. Used to live.
Is that where you've been the whole time, or did you move there?
I used to be like more in the mountains, and then went to college here, and then now it's just where I'm living.
Nice. Asheville is really cool.
It is.
We like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is? Yo, I can't tell if it's because I'm tired or if my computer's trying to fight me or what. But all right, here we go. Here we go. The world will see. Are you ready for me to share?
Oh, yep, almost 1 second.
Do whatever you got to do. Don't feel the pressure from me.
Let me save. Everybody's safe.
Yeah.
Let's get this switched over. Fuzzy's.
Sorry, I was responding to a comment. All right, so I have entered the contest to win the prize for longest title. I think I'm gonna win.
You're gonna win.
There is a limit to how many characters you can have in your title, and I am 5 short of being this title has 45 characters.
That means you can put 5 exclamation points at the end.
Oh shoot! You know what? I'm an idiot. Oh, I was so tired this morning. I forgot to do the. All right, whatever. I'll worry about it later. I actually more characters in.
Oh no.
Anyway, episode 1 of my comic that I killed myself to make.
Oh, wait. Let me go full screen here.
All right, so
I like the lightning opening.
thank you. You forced my hand. Told me to move my logo, and then I was like, well, what do I do up there now? But yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then my new logo.
I like that.
Nice.
That's clean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's a lot closer to the mood of the story too. So I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Should be.
I like it.
That's awesome.
I like that little pink glow on everything.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I tried not to be like too hung up on the realism of certain things and just create something good to look at. You know?
I can
So
hear
there's
that rain on the umbrella just by looking at it.
my heart.
Oh wow.
Here we go, and nightmare.
Oh my god.
So pretty.
Wow, that's so nice.
Oh my word. Kind of reminds me of Japan a bit.
Well, that's awesome. By the way, I had so many comments from one of the other streams that the smoking was like a bad thing, and I was like, oh no. So on the box, there's the just like in real life, the Surgeon General's warning is super visible and easy to read for the reader. So
Nice.
Cool. That's pretty.
Nice. Wow, when did you do all these panels?
I do a lot when you're not looking.
Remember, he's not been sleeping.
There you go. Surgeon General's warning. Smoking causes lung cancer. You know what's funny is not a lot of people know this because luckily a lot of people have stopped smoking, right? But that's how big it is on an actual box. In fact, I think it's a little bigger now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the regulations have made it such that they can't do it. You're not allowed to, but yeah.
Ooh, nails. That's pretty lighting.
And there you go. And also, please
Awesome.
read dinner.
Yeah. Oh, that turned out great.
Oh,
Man,
well done. Well done.
Congrats.
Thank you.
you should be a comic artist, man.
Oh, you're right.
For real.
Oh, that's some good stuff.
That is so cool. You know, the soundtrack that I had in my mind when you were showing that remind me of a little bit of Cowboy Bebop and the sequences where he
Oh
was,
yeah, the I haven't even thought of that.
yep,
Awesome.
and just
whenever
sort of that melancholy
Yeah.
music.
The song I listened to while I was making it was called Almost Blue by oh shoot, what is his name? Chet Baker.
Mhm.
And that means nothing to anybody, but it's it's like the saddest blues song I could find. Or a jazz song I could find. So
Mhm.
Is that an instrumental? Like I know Chet Baker.
Mm.
It's been a while.
he does lean heavy on instrumental a lot, but being a trumpet player, but he does sing too. So there's a little bit of singing in that song. And I listened to the first like 5 minutes of it most because that was the instrumental part and it didn't mess with the dialogue in my head. But
Awesome.
Fuzzy, that's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing.
yeah, thank you guys for allowing me to share it.
Yeah.
That I wasn't annoying.
So
It's fun
everyone,
to see work
everyone in
and
chat,
together.
everyone who's watching this, if you could help Fuzzzy get some votes, head on over to Webtoons, type in
And you should just
Origami
be able to find it with Origami Princess.
Origami Princess. Give it a heart and put a comment in there about how beautiful it is and help them get some eyeballs on it.
There you go. I contributed, Fuzzzy.
Hooray!
Is there a way to vote? I think I missed that part.
No, they don't. And I think this is. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. But they don't want people. They don't want it that like to be that kind of contest, you know.
I see.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah. They want to control it a little bit more than just the audience controlling it.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Extra counts as well.
It can get gamed pretty easily.
I see. But more of this, the response is.
Yeah, it's luckily the system is very much built around like, did people like your work though?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that was, I don't know. I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So people keep asking, how did Fuzzzy fake his death?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Get into that?
Let's go down that hole. It's honestly not that crazy long of a story, but I can stretch it out if I need. Essentially the story goes that I was going to hang out with my friend, and he had texted me and said like, "Hey, come pick me up." This is when I was in junior year of high school. And he said, "Come and pick me up." And I said, "Okay." And then I got distracted and I just didn't respond for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Dude, are you coming or what?" And then I went, "An opportunity has presented itself." And then I didn't respond for another hour. And then he just texted me something to the effect of like he's getting more frustrated or whatever. And so then I said, I sent a text message that said, I'm sorry, son. Your friend has been in an accident.
Oh wow. Oh man, that's intense.
And then I did not respond to him again for another 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And then I just decided I should probably go and hang out with him. And I got in my car and drove to his house. And I texted him, "Hey, dude, I'm here." And he came out and punched me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he crying? Did he cry? Did you make your friend cry?
No.
Fuzzy
He
wasn't making your friend
he
cry.
wasn't. I don't know if he felt sad or just that, like, there was only fury. All I saw was just pure red hot anger. And he, I mean, I don't know. I really ruined his trust, you know?
Yeah.
All pranks are bad.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Jason Bernard. Yes, I did say that all pranks are unethical. This is the story of how I came to terms or found out that I don't like pranks. And that I think that I hate all of them. So,
Even a leak.
yes, even the leak thing. I'm glad that I could save your stream from having a false title.
It's not clickbait.
I would have just emailed you and then said, "Fuzzy, are you okay?" And then you would have said, "Sorry, son." Fuzzy's in an accident.
Why would they have had access to my email? The best part about this is this wouldn't work today, right? Like, people have locks on their phones. I had a freaking, I don't even think it was a flip phone. I think it was before that. But what?
Unless it was your wife responding.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Like, but then that's a whole other level. That's like my wife conspiring with me, or I'm putting my wife on the, like, why wouldn't she just use her own phone? I don't know. There's too many questions with that.
Bottom line, no more pranks for you.
For you.
Yeah, never again. Never again. I will never even a little bit put somebody through that. That was.
You're gonna prank your son. Just know that you're gonna do it, and you're not even gonna realize that you did it. You're just gonna be like, you hid a toy from them or something just to see what they would do, and that's technically a prank.
No, that sounds like mind games, and that sounds like something I'm not going to do. So I don't know.
No, you're gonna do it because that's all dads do.
I don't do that. I don't like doing that. I don't.
Your kid's gonna go to school and be like, "They're so mean."
Yeah, that's
you're
more
not
likely.
Conditioning them for the reality of the situation.
He's going to get to school and be like, "They're just as bad as you said, Dad." I didn't believe you. Oh, boy. It's all right. I don't.
There's no winning with you, Fuzzy. You can't win.
Well, that's because I'm a winner.
He's a wiener.
You can't win when you compete against the best.
Fuzzy's a very good wiener.
So has there been any pranks, Fuzzy, that anyone has done on you that you have not been super angry about or annoyed with or
No.
with? No?
I've and this is something I've had to come to grips with my adult life, but feeling stupid is something that really bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
It really, I don't know what I have. It's me, right? At the end of the day, it's me. I have a self-esteem problem, but like, you know, I don't. Sorry, I got distracted. Everything, like, I seem to take a lot of things that aren't meant by other people as jabs at how smart I am, or rather how smart I'm not. And I don't like it. I don't like that calling into question of my intelligence, and so much so that the littlest pranks bother me, like the littlest lies when people don't, getting one over on me is just another stem of that. And so I don't know that I've ever experienced a prank that.
Oh, wait. How did you feel when I threw the this thing up?
Sorry.
Because that was kind of a prank. And I don't consider myself a prankster either.
A little bit, but I guess I'm in a place in my life where not a lot of people prank me anymore. And now I said it, I already kind of expressed my understanding of my own faults, right? So I know it's a problem. So now I'm trying to choose not to be angry about things that I can't control, So if somebody else chooses to do something, but I don't know. It's not a.
But did your initial reaction when you found out that was me doing that?
Yeah.
What was that initial emotion?
I think I don't remember. I don't remember. I think I was fine with it, probably.
Yeah.
I don't like that gut reaction right away was just fear.
More because you thought it was real.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when I found out it wasn't real, I was like, I think my processing was there's no reason I should have thought it was real.
Yeah.
So, and this is clearly a joke. And I don't know how I even considered it like the same thing as a prank at the time because it was just.
Yeah. I wasn't really thinking it was a prank necessarily, but I don't know. I don't consider myself a prankster, nor do I'm more on your side, Fuzzy. I don't enjoy watching prank videos, and I don't like pranking my kids. Sorry, Zach.
No, it's not that I like pranking. It's not even, it's not being mean though.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what happens when we're playing around and I have her teddy bear or something and I put it under a pillow, Yeah. And then she's like, "Where'd it go?" And I was like, "Magic,"
Oh yeah.
And then seeing their reaction, seeing how they deal with the problem and whatnot. And then, you do at some point, reveal where it was and whatnot, But it's kind of like this. I see it more as like, you're helping them build critical thinking skills on how to face problems and what to do about it and not get frustrated about it.
I definitely do things like that. Fun things.
That's what I'm saying is like you're gonna do things like that to help them understand that there's certain things that in how to deal with it and how to help them problem solve and whatnot. And I think that stuff is important because that's what my dad used to do to me. And at first I didn't like it, but then it became a fun sort of game, It
never became a game for me.
I'm sorry, Fuzzy. But anyways, it was a game for me. Go ahead.
I'm kind of careful with it because I don't like them ever. I don't like to make my kids feel, like frustrated with me. I know there's times that they get frustrated with me because I'm disciplining them or something, but I don't know. I never was the popular kid at school, so people, like everyone says, I felt like a lot of people picked on me, and so I don't want to. I'm always a little hesitant to do things that are even kind of slightly tricking them, Mm-hmm. But I can't say I don't do it at all,
Like even in the respect of something like that, something small like that, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm actively trying to not lie in any form or any way at all. Now, I've been told that I've overcorrected to the point of being like kind of ridiculous. So I don't know that I'm fully in the right, but
Yeah.
it's hard to know because justifying lying in my head is a really difficult thing.
But
And
I'm not like what I'm doing isn't justifying lying, though.
no,
You know,
I want to be careful because I'm not telling you you're being like you're doing anything.
I feel so attacked.
Richard Smith says, when is the episode coming out? What?
Is he talking about your episode?
Yeah, I assume you're talking about. He said it's my name, so I assume he's talking about the one that just. So I put out the episode this morning. I don't know if that answers the question. Is he asking when the next episode's coming out? Maybe. I would say in a week.
1 whole week.
1 week, Rooney. I'm starting work on the next episode right now.
Yeah, the thing that drives me nuts is, I mean, not saying it's anything like this, but it's when I feel like I am being manipulated or deceived by someone for something they want. That just rubs me the wrong way so bad to where I will just like, all right, I'm not talking to you anymore, you know?
Yep.
And it happens a lot as an artist, you know, because people want me to do things for them, you know? And that myself as I was talking because I wanted to move my monitor. It's weird. Hold on 1 second.
Preach. Sorry, I was trying to mimic it.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm so in the mindset of muting that in the middle of a sentence I'm muting while I'm moving my monitor. It's really weird. But yeah, as an artist, you know, like there was always the people like, hey, can you do this for me? You know, I was like convinced when I was in grade school that one of my friends had the rights to Mortal Kombat, the comic. And he's like, I want you to draw it. I have the rights to it. And I was like, really? So
How did he convince you of that?
I was just an idiot, you know, had no idea what's going on.
Kid. Just,
Yeah.
you know, kid.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I was a gullible, believed everything.
Yeah. And he wasn't my friend, you know, but you know, I wouldn't draw something that he wanted me to draw. And I think he came back later saying, I have the rights to this thing that he thought everyone thought was, you know, it was the most popular thing at the time or whatever, that in his mind. I didn't like Mortal Kombat, but I was like, really? So how do you have the rights to it? And he was like, it's my dad. My dad got the rights to it, and he needs an artist, and you know, whatever. And I was like, I had no idea how to draw the characters or anything, so I just made up something. And he's like, not really how he looks. I'm like, but you didn't give me any reference. He's like, go look at the video game. I'm like, I got to go home after school. You know, so it's like series of things like that just drive me nuts. And it's like, that's the one way to get on my bad side is make me feel like I'm being manipulated, you know. And it's one thing that I don't like about advertising. It's manipulation. And I worked in advertising. And I hated working in advertising because there was so much manipulation happening.
You are hitting all the right buttons, dude.
But it's complex
sorry.
because I'm trying to advertise myself.
Yeah, but you're not being deceptive about it.
No.
Well,
That's the thing, right?
The fine line that I try to walk on is I want to do things that are not manipulation, but I want to. It means a slower method of getting there, but I actually feel good about it. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like you know, you want your work to speak for itself.
Yeah.
And hopefully the work is enough advertisement to gain some traction.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to try and build it up and sell it as something that it's not in order to get people to buy it.
Yeah. And then they get it and they're like, it was all right, you know. That's why I really try to like over deliver with like really beautiful books and more pages than you would normally get for a $25 book or whatever it is, you know. I don't want anyone to feel manipulated if they gave me money.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You know, I remember my dad told me like a couple of, it was like 1 or 2 years ago, he was like, I don't know if he saw me getting frustrated with something or what, but he was like, yeah, you really, you've never liked it lying. Like, you've never really enjoyed that. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, first of all, you're terrible at it. But also, he goes, I remember when you were a kid, like real little, you were watching a commercial for something, for toys. And he goes, and there was, you know, they were flying around or they were doing something on the, and I could tell how excited you were about it. And, you know, you asked about it and I had to make it clear to you that that's not how they work. You know, they don't really do that. And you know, he goes, and you asked me why. And I told him, I told you, well, that's, you know, that's the advertising. They make it look cooler than it is so that you'll buy it. And he goes, and you never got over that. And I was like, I don't even remember this. But he remembers me being a little kid and being just like this jaded 4-year-old or whatever, walking around going like, whatever, man. They're all just lying to you. It's a trick.
That's
and he
so
goes,
funny.
Because your brothers never reacted that way. They were just like, whatever, I still want it. He was like, but you were vindictive about it. You were like, well, I don't even want the toy anymore.
Yeah.
It's not for me. But yeah,
that's why I'm kind of pissed off at this shipping company, is because I just feel like they've been trying to get my business for a year, promising me all this stuff, and then we change our mind. This is what you get. We wrangled you in. Here you go. Anyway, but yeah, I actually have those conversations with my kids a lot about marketing and advertising and stuff, because you know it's in that world. I'm like, look at this label. It says, you know, 100% juice made with artificial flavors. Those are lies, you know.
That's how they do it too. A lot of those, it's like, as long as the wording is just so.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a really good documentary all about advertising and all the tricks they use, and that they use to get people to buy things and whatnot. And I totally forgot what it was.
Yeah.
That's, if I can find it again, I'll share it, because I think everybody would benefit from understanding that the world you live in is kind of like it's a veiled.
Yeah.
As far as you know, and I would imagine that most people here know about a lot of the tricks, just because your audience seems to be more well-rounded than, I would say, average audiences. To be fair, you know, because if they're following you, then that means they like you and they like your sensibilities and whatnot, and you're well-rounded and you know, educated and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
So
Educated.
this is what I would hope. I hope. I don't want to make assumptions or anything, but I would hope.
I had a high school education.
I went to college and it was worth less than the time I put into it. Sure.
There's a great question on here that brings this back to comics. Are you bothered by comics that have cover art that is completely different from the art inside the comic?
Totally. That was
Yeah.
that was one of my pet peeves when I started Remind. I was like, I want the cover to reflect what's inside, not be a sales tool to get people to buy the stupid thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hate that. Manipulation.
Yep. But then, like, I've also definitely bought a comic just for the cover.
Totally, yeah. That's how it works, you know.
But I don't know. At that point, I'm like, I'm not being tricked. I'm choosing this. You know?
Yeah.
I think I'm just more disappointed when it's like a really neat looking cover and the art looks really cool and you open it and it's like Tumblr art.
Yeah.
That really is a disappointing thing, you know?
It is infuriating.
Also
Yeah.
pretty disappointing with video games. Like you'll see like the art is really cool and like a very original style, but then the game itself is like super simple or pixelated. And there's nothing wrong with pixel art, but like, you know, if that's what your game's going to look like, then
Yeah.
All right, sell it as it is. That's like the the older games did that a lot, but like they weren't really working with much, so you'd get this like beautiful painting of Link, and the world of Zelda, and then like it's like 8-bit,
Mm-hmm. But the thing is that was like the standard of what video games look like. So no one was going in going, wow, this is going to look like hyper realistic.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I wasn't around during that time, but the people I've heard were like, yeah, that was a thing. You kind of felt tricked as a kid.
I don't think
those games were fantastic. I'm not slamming the games because they're wonderful. Like
I'm just saying,
I still play all.
Like it's
games.
kind of like that expectation of like you understand what your console can do, because of all the games that you already have. So
but not when you're a kid.
All of a sudden, trying to expect that it's going to look like this epic painting or something. It to me, it was just box art. Like they had an artist do a rendition, and then that was it. I've bought so many video games in my life. I'm kind of embarrassed, but it's just one of those things where it's just like like maybe the vision on the front wasn't as epic as the actual game play, or what I mean, like you never get to fight that dragon, or you never get to do that thing.
Yeah,
I would find deceptive if they advertise something that that you never get to actually do.
Yeah. I never was bothered by the covers because I knew that the games just weren't that level. What I was bothered by is when, I would see an arcade game in the arcade and I was like, "Oh, that's going to be sweet. I'm going to get it for my platform." And then you get it and it's just a really dumbed down version of the arcade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was frustrating for me.
Well, there's a lot of troubles with transferring arcade games to console anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, when you're a kid, like I'm talking like between the ages of 4 and 10, right? You're so impressionable and so easy to believe and trust.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like you believed something that you had a great example, Jason, of believing something that, if you think about it as an adult, makes no sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
That your friend had the rights to Mortal Kombat,
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't think that you were stupid for thinking that. I think that you were just a kid, and that's how kids think. I am not kidding you. I would remember being in grade school and a kid convincing me successfully that he had a real Pokemon.
Oh man!
Back at
all
home.
of us have been there.
That was Zach. Zach's the one who said that.
Oh man! I don't know what Pokemon did to my life. It didn't make it better though.
Oh man! You know what? I was always on the. Oh wait, big surprise! I feel like I've said it like 6 times now, but I was always the one who was the like single Digimon fan on the schoolyard.
That weirdo.
Yeah, people were like, "You're such a loser. Pokemon's clearly better," and I was like, "You've never even like watched it or anything."
I'd get up in the morning and watch Digimon while I ate my breakfast before school. Yeah, that's what I would do. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was a better show than Pokemon.
Yeah, by far. But and you know what? The Tamagotchi game wasn't too bad either for what it was.
I never did the Tamagotchis.
Well, this was Tamagotchi that you could battle with your friends.
That sounds like a cool idea, but my parents wouldn't waste money on the stuff like that for me.
No,
The only reason why I had Pokemon cards is because I this is gonna be hard to admit. I purposefully made my teeth loose.
Oh, wow.
What's going on? I don't know if you guys heard that. Like it sounded like the whole entire upstairs was exploding. I purposely made all of my baby teeth loose to pull them out so I could get money from my parents to buy a used deck of Pokemon cards from a friend.
Wow.
dude.
That's commitment.
That's why I'm saying, like, it didn't make my life better.
Mhm.
So, not proud of this time in my life.
Okay.
I mean, dang, man. That's some rough stuff. That's like, I'm almost jealous of your commitment.
That's like a fight movie.
Yeah, just purposefully. Like when you sit there, you're just like as a kid, and you're sitting there, and you grab one of your teeth, and you're like, "Yeah, that's a baby tooth that's going to come out," and you're just like sitting there pushing it back and forth purposely, to make it loose. And then when it starts getting loose, you go up to your parents, you're like, "Oh, this one's loose," and you're like, "Dad, pull it out," and then they wrap the floss around, and then they yank it.
I'm gonna throw up, dude.
Yank it, and they would be like, "I don't think that it was ready." Blood.
Oh no!
You're like, yeah! Give me my
Welcome back,
money.
Jessica.
Give me my money. At that point, you're like, I will pay you to stop doing this, kid.
Yeah, they didn't know though. They didn't know.
Baby teeth, eh?
Baby teeth.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Oh, you weren't here for that whole thing?
Oh, you're right.
We're just talking about the lengths we would go to get Pokemon cards.
I never
I will
got
have
into
to get that
Pokemon.
story later.
Yeah, you could rewatch.
I will.
Children are dumb.
I never liked Pokemon. I was so there was Transformers that were real popular when I was a kid, and then I liked GoBots instead of Transformers. That was my.
Whoa.
I like collecting GoBots. I don't know why.
They're GoBots. Do they go?
They're I think they're owned by the people who own Transformers too. So
Hasbro?
Did you guys ever collect Transformers or GoBots?
I did a little
Yes.
Transformers. That was good.
I did as well.
the show that was on when I was a kid was Transformers Mini-Cons.
Nice.
I can't. Oh my gosh, it's a blast from the past. I haven't said that word in a million years, but it was like there were the regular Transformers, and then there was these like human-sized Transformers that were like dumber. Like I don't know how to. They were. I don't mean like they weren't cool. I mean like they
Their
were
brains
actually
were
dumber.
smaller.
Yeah.
They were less smart.
But they would hook up to the regular Transformers, or you could get the three that would combine to become a regular size Transformer, or there was one where there was three of them that combined into a sword. So
Hey, bud. Hi, friends. You want to be a weapon? Because I'm imagining, because you're saying they're less smart, so I'm imagining like redneck robots. Howdy.
no, they just. I don't even think they talked. If I'm remembering correctly, they didn't speak at all.
What?
Yeah.
How do you make a show where the characters don't speak?
Well, no, because Optimus and all them were still in it, and there were anime characters in there. Like they were just like tools to be used. It was weird. It made me feel weird even as a kid. I was like, this feels wrong. Like, they have feelings.
They're just tools. Glad we had this conversation.
Yeah, sorry. How long are you planning on going today?
Well, we're almost getting to my time limit. I'm going to try to finish this page I'm working on, which I don't think it'll take me more than another hour to get the line work done. But we will see.
There's
Jace.
a question. Oh,
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
well, I was going to read a question off in the comments, but if you had
Do it.
Well, this was a little bit earlier. I don't know if we answered it. Austin Tinsley asked, what is the most beautiful thing about having the ability to create art to you?
Wow.
So,
Mm.
ability to create and make, what's the most beautiful thing about that to us, or the coolest thing, or impactful?
Mm.
I think for me, I love creating something that's never existed before and then inviting the viewer in to enjoy it as well.
You're like
That was a
bringing
really good
characters
answer.
to life.
Hmm?
Bringing characters to life.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this person has like an arc or like struggles and things they go through, and to be able to share that with people in a way that's like visually pleasing is really fun.
And relatable.
Telling stories, definitely. But like, Jessica, say your answer again.
Mine was being able to create something that's never existed before and to invite the viewer in to enjoy it with me and experience it.
Such a good answer. The creating something that I think I'll expand on it a little bit. Just say creating something that I know no one else could have made.
Yeah.
Except for the other guy named Fuzzzy.
I'll kill him. Yeah, my name. No, sorry. I think there's something really cool about like pushing yourself to be like the most you can be, and like no one else can be that because you're you.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know, like, which is why making independent stuff is so much more interesting. Because everyone has some version of like, okay, you know what, I'll play safe. My favorite character ever is Spider-Man, and I would love to draw for Spider-Man. But then, like, also everyone's drawn Spider-Man at this point, and I'd rather the world see something that no one else could have made, except me. And there's only so many times you can reiterate the same thing, and
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to that statement the other day of like, life's too short. You only have so many projects in you,
yeah.
and you could use it all on Spider-Man, or you can actually get your ideas out there while you have the ability to do it. Yeah, what I love about it is just being able to, I can communicate like really complicated ideas that have taken me a lifetime or up to this point to like wrestle with and refine it down into a story that's fun to actually read. And some of those ideas can come across that might be extremely complicated, and that would take long, multiple conversations otherwise, one-on-one, and I would never convince someone one-on-one or never be able to explain it one-on-one,
Right.
But I can actually explain it and get a concept across that a vast audience of completely different backgrounds and worldviews can actually read and understand, which, how great is that,
Yeah.
I love it.
I completely agree with that. There's something about story that reaches beyond explanations, or I don't know. There's something, yeah. It's really neat.
Okay. And I was kind of thinking about not that exactly, but before you showed up, Fuzzzy, we were talking about YouTube and the internet censoring, people with our beliefs. Let's say it kindly, in a lot of ways. And like one of the guys I support and follow on YouTube, his channel's getting shut down because he's just talking about things that we all believe, So I was thinking, well, I don't need to tiptoe around the dragon like we were talking before. I don't need to do that with stories. I could actually just write the stories and infuse these ideas into that, and and online be polite, play by the rules, and not step on the toes of YouTube or whatever. Use code words and whatever, So that's what's so fun about stories. It's like, yeah, you can still say what you want to say.
Jason, I know you've at least heard about it, but has anyone else ever heard of the book called Walking on Water by Madeleine L'Engle?
I have not.
It's she's a gal who wrote A Wrinkle in Time, and it's, let me go and pull it up. It's a really, really awesome book, and I'll say, Walking on Water, it's reflections on faith and art, and look it up if you're an artist, if you share these beliefs. I think it's extremely relatable and has a lot of really cool insights.
Nice. Thank you for sharing.
I'll pop that
I
in.
enjoyed it.
Did you finish it?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I need to reread it.
I'll have to check it out. You said it was Walking on Water?
It's not Smoke on the Water.
Not Smoke on the Water. It's going to pop it into the chat if I can find. Oh, there it is. Hello.
The Lolcat Bible.
That was my second recommendation.
Speaking of books that changed my life.
Oh my.
OWH mean? No?
What?
What does OWH mean?
I don't know.
Someone.
Mhm.
I can't tell. If it's just a typo, then whatever. But in the world of constantly shortening things to acronyms, I was like, "Am I stupid? Does this mean something?"
I don't know. I would look it up.
Tobias has a question. I am part of a different film. Okay, I'll just put the question on screen. I can't read. I am part of
a different film, voice acting, and comic group for networking. But how do I get around this issue of being invisible? It's not like I'm a bad artist.
Just reaching out,
Yeah,
talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
the
really
answer.
is. It's one of those daunting things, like jumping on with Jason or reaching out and saying, "Hey, can I want to show. Would you be interested in me, reading my stuff and let me show my work and then also, talking about other people's work and stuff and because it's a reciprocating thing. It goes both ways. Finding that the more I reach out and talk to other people about their work and whatnot, and that they kind of do the same as they reach out to me and they talk about my work. And because and I don't want to sound like
Go on.
a grandma or something, but
Or a grandpa.
I'd say grandma for this. But kindness is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
So when you show people kindness and you pick up people, especially people that are like, hey, I'm just popping into. Sure, I don't think I'm a good artist and everything. Kind of picking them up, prompting them up, and stuff. It does make a big impact, and it kind of is a chain reaction in a lot of ways than you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
And then like an investment over time, and again, it's relational. It takes time. Patience. And I just saw that Tobias kind of mentions like, yeah, I do reciprocate, but they don't really bother with me. And sometimes you'll get to those groups of people where you're giving it your all and you're not getting anything back. Like I've been in places before, and you kind of give and maybe it isn't the place that you are meant to be in.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, you gotta know when to just stop trying to join a certain group, and
because
there's certain groups that I've tried to join, and it didn't seem like it was anyone cared to be friendly, and so I'm like, well, I don't need to waste my time and energy and stress and thoughts and sleepless nights or thinking about that. I don't need to be in that group.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's usually like a group based around not like an idea of like we are all artists and we're trying to share our stuff. It's more so like when you join groups of where there's a hierarchy of people, where it's like you joined a certain artist, specifically his group, and he's the leader or he or she is the leader, and then they have an inner circle, and then that inner circle has an inner circle, and it's just you trying to get into these inner circles. It's usually those ones that you'll find the most tension and won't succeed in because it's a politics game. It's not an art game.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to add one more thing on what I just said and what we were saying is you also don't really know. You don't really know exactly what's going on the other side.
Mhm.
So,
Hmm.
without getting too off topic, there have been times where I've been trying to get in different circles and maybe it wasn't working, and then it's easy to draw assumptions, and later it end up turning out, and either my assumptions were all incorrect or it was completely different or wasn't even related. Or other times I would think that I was being active and integrating in a way that was meaningful, but really it wasn't.
Can we all just like I would love to hear from everybody on the panel. Is if it's just a me thing? Does it seem like artists are very territorial?
Yeah.
Depends on the crowd.
Cool.
It just feels like whenever I walk into a new group of artists and you're kind of the odd one out, that all the artists look at you and they scrutinize you way harder because they don't know you, and especially if you're good, they'll scrutinize you hard because they're like, we don't want this newcomer to come and steal all our thunder.
Trust me, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's interesting because I think those almost are two different things, right? Because like the first one is more like I don't like I worked hard to get here. You don't deserve this. And then the other one's like pride, right?
Yeah.
Like I deserve it too. You're lying to yourself like the person is not better than you, but
yeah. I get excited when new artists come on and they're really good and stuff. I get so excited to talk to them, and I don't have this. I think it was a very early thing that especially my father instilled in me, is that pride is like one of the worst sins you can have. Like there's a huge difference of being proud and then having pride. Being proud of like your kids or being proud of yourself for accomplishing something, that's a very different thing than having this underlying code of pride that you won't let go of certain things, and things that get in the way. So it's like I don't have I at least I really try not to have this sort of sense of pride at all on really anything. I just, because I want to reach out to people. I want to talk to people. I don't care if they're better than me. In fact, I love it when they're better than me, because that means that they have information that I can learn from. Like I love that. I'm so happy Jason opened the floor to people to come in and talk and stuff. And I was like, oh man, this might be my chance to actually get to talk to Jason. Jason, I didn't want to tell you, but you're kind of like my hero in a lot of ways, because I've been following your work.
Embarrassed.
No, I've been watching and listening to your stuff since you started YouTube, like at the very beginning with Remind and stuff. So it was kind of like this weird, oh man, I get to sit in with Jason and whatnot,
Yeah. Huh.
I just didn't want to. I've been holding back on that information because I didn't want to seem like just some fanboy.
It's all right. You can squee now.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, I always, part of the reason I didn't want to live stream a lot is because I felt like people would just really get sick of hearing me talk. and my art's not as good as, it's not as good as it could be. The finished product, because it's like it takes time to get that finished product to be good.
Art is so subjective. It's so easy to compare and say this art's better, that art's better. But I've seen art that may be skillfully not at a higher level, but contains so much more spirit and truth than some professional artists, because they capture the heart of the story or the character or the message that they're trying to say. And really, sorry, going back to the earlier question that Zach brought up about artists being territorial, being transparent, it's easy to fall in that mindset, being like, can I hold my own? Am I good enough? And at the end of the day, I'll say two things is, again, in that book, Walking on Water, this has been a big one. Madeline basically compares it to, you know what, we are all like, and what we're doing is like a little stream that's feeding a larger lake. And we're all contributing in our own ways. And it's not even about like how cool is my stream or how big is it or how much, output. It's just we are doing what we're doing to contribute. And no one else can do what we're doing. And the other analogy that I remember really helped me is we were playing a board game one time. We were playing Settlers of Catan, and we were playing with several other friends. And I was looking at friend A and friend B, and I was looking at their strategies and what they were pursuing, and I was kind of comparing it what I was doing, and doubting what I was doing. At the end of the day, I was just like, you know what, I got to just play my own game and do what works for me, and not worry about what the others are doing. I could learn from it, but I just got to play my own game.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, sorry, it kind of went off.
Yeah, and I can totally relate to that and agree with that. With when it comes to making art, making stories, it's just there's so many voices out there, especially now, the internet, of how you should do it. So many examples, people who've become popular doing things a certain way, and it's so much of it conflicts with what I want to do. Like the whole either whether it's manipulation or whatever. And yeah, I just kind of got to go, okay, I'm fine with it going a completely different way, kind of walking down this path that I don't know quite what the outcome will be, but I feel much better just taking my own path on this stuff. And so I can look back now and say, yeah, I'm glad I did X, Y, and Z, but in the moment I had no proof that any of it would work.
It's interesting because it's almost like being around other artists are a little bit like being around different magnets, and it's easy to kind of get pulled into, especially artists you admire, like, I should do what they're doing, and you begin to be influenced by their work the more time you spend looking at it. It's not a bad thing, but you also got to make sure it's not pulling you off the path of your contribution. And it's a daily decision. And I know for me, it's just, it's easy to have it creep in all the time. And it's kind of like that check, and you're like, okay, play your own game, Jess. And I do enjoy it. I do enjoy what I do. Mia, I had a question for you.
Yes.
I was just watching you fill in some of that space. Have you ever used the Magic Wand select tool?
I actually use the with the settings with the fill tool. You can set it so it fills in like the Magic Wand would, but it doesn't count for the border that I have. So I'll just. I'm doing the lazy but not lazy way.
I see. You'd have to merge it.
Or you can do. Well, wait. What are you using? Is that Clip Studio?
Clip Studio. Yeah.
So you can do refer to other layers. That way you don't have to combine.
I have that turned on, but I have it turned on just for reference layers.
Here,
but I could do that.
Yeah. Do you?
I was just curious because I was watching you filling it in.
Yeah.
So, can you throw my screen up for like a half second?
Oh, yes.
So we'll just say this is for people who are watching. But so if I've got, two different layers, right? But I want to make sure that I'm referencing both of them. When I use the bucket tool, you can go up to the top left here and hit refer other layers. And you can throw it to reference layer, but if you have it to over here on the closer to the bottom left, there's all layers. And then you can even do a new blank layer.
Can you select specific layers to reference?
Or
does it reference like all of
them? So you can you can decide that by making certain ones reference layers, right?
Oh, that's
So-
what the reference layer is for. Oh.
So if you go over to the right, you can select however many ones you want, and then hit the
Okay.
set as reference layer button, and then it will effectively, make that work more specifically. But then you have to make sure that you have both of them working. So you have to go over here and hit reference layer button, and then you have to go and decide which ones it's referencing.
Okay.
So that fill is on a separate layer, but I'm not affecting other things. Like I can still have them be separate.
That's nifty.
Nice.
I
Yeah, I
like
think I knew about that stuff, but it's like I'm too lazy to do the lazy way to do things, if that makes sense. Like it's just my brain naturally goes to just outlining it right away.
Mhm.
But
If
I should do that.
It takes time to integrate new things like that, especially when you have a certain way of doing it. It's like, you know what, it works for me, but
Mhm.
I just end up copying my lines and merging them and then deleting them later. But it's effectively doing that with all the extra steps.
What I usually do is after the inks are done, I'll stick them all in one folder, like usually the background separate from the foreground, just in case I need to make changes. But then I'll use that folder as a reference layer, and then I'll do like my flats that way. And
That's
usually it's pretty like easy, but a lot of times I purposefully don't close my line, so for like a little bit of an effect. So I have to make sure that I catch those. But it's not
Yeah.
terribly hard. But
You guys are all
Something
talking
like
about layers and things. I'm like, here on my
One
one layer.
layer.
My one layer.
well, you're doing painting stuff. That's
So,
a different beast from.
no, I see painters all the time have like 30, 40 layers, and I'm like, why?
Ugh.
I master
That's
one
too
layer
many.
to my 300 layers.
Dang.
Swimming.
The only time I ever add layers is if I'm like, oh, I don't know how to work this in quite.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to experiment a little, but as soon as I can, I merge it down to one layer.
There is something to be said about simplicity. Ooh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I get lost in my experiments before I'm ready because I just jump around. Like right
Mhm.
now, I'm like, I want to start doing flats, but I'm not done with the inks yet or the sketches.
What? Oh dear. Huh.
I think the reason why I do it this way is because I used to have a slow computer, so I couldn't have a lot of layers.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I just never. Now that I have this super fast computer, I'm just like,
Okay, Gappy. Oh. Well, nice to see you too.
Sorry. Didn't realize you were streaming.
No, it's okay.
Hello.
hello, Fuzzy's wife.
Hello, Fuzzy Dwarf.
They're saying hi to you.
Oh.
They can't.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Never mind.
Is there a baby there?
I asked him if you want to go see Daddy, and he went,
Oh,
So we
that's
came down to see.
wonderful.
anyway, just saying hi. It's raining.
It's raining.
In case you needed more reference or
Cappy
something.
came up real slow and just burped in my face. So that was nice.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I should have muted myself. Why didn't I?
I'll
You're
talk to you later.
fine.
We're just part of the conversation.
Here's a question to throw out at everyone. Any recommendations on learning drawing noir style comics?
Interesting.
Or
Anyone?
Yeah.
What do they consider noir style? Like, I have an image in my head for noir style like film, but
Are you talking like the
Detective?
process or the visual?
heavy blacks, lots of blacks.
yeah. Well, I mean
Heavy
that's what
contrast. That's what
noir is French for black, right? So
Yeah.
you want to lean pretty heavy on going. I don't know, because the film style was named such because it was dark in theme, not just in visuals. So I don't know. Finding good reference and then trying to, I don't know, finding the right style is super interesting, like for a story specifically. I think it's cool, like sitting there making a test image for your comic and then going like, I'm going to I'm going to make this one image look exactly how I want and then try to replicate that feeling throughout. That's usually how I do it, just in a more general sense.
I think from a technical standpoint, just practicing or understanding the volume of objects will help you figure out how to place really, like, those big black fills. So maybe finding, like, I don't know, a more geometric view of like the human body or the face of a human, or like, how to make, like, if it's a city place, like where to put the blacks on a building and where to like have little highlights of like window and brick and things like that. And the cool thing about digital, if you're able to do that, is you can do the push and pull method freely. So you can put on blacks all you want, and then you can take them off. So you can just play around until it looks the way you want it to look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to build off of that idea, I would also submit a strong sense of shape and silhouette is important. I don't know. I haven't studied noir a whole lot, but the little I've seen, they use a lot of silhouette in impactful moments where you can play with framing. And so if you see like a guy in a doorway and the doorway's up behind and you see his silhouette has sort of this singling out certain characters and important objects, and it just kind of creates a different sense of drama or focus. So really, really pay attention to your silhouette shape and framing.
I would suggest similar to what Fuzzy's saying, but just try to find a comic artist that or a couple that are doing really close to what you're looking for in a style, or even just a piece of art that's doing it, and then let that kind of be a guide for how to influence the styles, and
Pinterest.
it's hard. Yeah, you got to really
Oh yeah,
not Pinterest. No,
mood board though. Like make yourself a mood board for sure.
Yeah.
You don't have to use Pinterest, but just ignore
Pinterest
what he said.
could help. Just know what you're getting into.
Yep. It's a deep, deep hole.
You've been warned.
Y'all are like singing.
Don't use Pinterest.
It'll catch you by the throat.
YouTube's somehow going to recognize, like, that's from this song. Like, block the channel.
Yep. I don't know if it was this channel or if it was another one, Fuzzzy, that we were on, where they were singing Zippity Doodah, and they got taken down.
What?
Oh, really?
I don't think that was this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was a drawn and quartered. I think Fuzzzy was there for that.
I'm almost positive, yeah.
And then that one got struck.
I mean, I can't remember if I was there or if I was just watching, now that I say that, but whatever.
You know, we'll just say you were. Fuzzzy was there. Fuzzzy knew. Fuzzy's the one that reported us.
These people are singing a song. Shut them down. Oh, just a reminder, save your work.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in it.
All right.
I believe in letting the moment decide.
Mm-hmm. Tell us how that works for you.
I've lost a lot of work.
That's why you were up so late.
No, I think my least favorite. So I set up Clip Studio has I feel like a lot of other programs have it, but it has a autosave feature.
Mm-hmm.
and I've set it up to autosave every 30 minutes because even 30 minutes of time loss is like, or even an hour. Like it's devastating.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It is.
cool.
Mhm.
You know, you start to think life doesn't matter. You know.
Oh,
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, we had a power surge the other, like, I don't know, not power surge. Well, I guess you call it that. Like a month ago, and I just had to go on a walk. You know.
Oh, it's the worst.
I was like, genuinely, I left my house. I put my shoes on and left, and just was like, I need to leave now.
Yeah.
well, I'm glad Jason ended the stream when he did yesterday is because literally half an hour after that, all the power went out because we had this massive thunderstorm.
Oh,
It was wild. And I was like, and the power went out, and I was just sitting in the darkness with my kid. And the only thing illuminating our house was he has a little one of those little learner's tablets that lights up.
Hmm.
And she was playing with that. And that was like literally the only thing we had that was light. I was like, oh, wow, I need to go get candles.
who needs candles?
Yeah, our power went out. I guess it was like last week for a long time. But we were out on a walk when the storm hit, and like it was like a flash flood. We were out running past like other people walking. We were soaked. It felt like it was out of a movie.
Hey, those things are no joke. Those can get
Yeah.
scary really fast.
There were like trees falling around us.
Ugh.
Like, Lord help us.
Time to go home. I remember trying to drive. We were in Virginia, and there was a flash flood, and I was almost home, and I thought taking a side street would be a good idea, and I could see the water rising on either side of the street, so you'd have to drive in the middle, and it kind of was a white knuckle moment, being like, I hope I can make it through without getting stuck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Does anybody ride motorcycles?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
No one can relate.
Sorry.
You can totally
No,
tell
it started
the story.
snowing once. I was out on my motorcycle,
Ooh.
and that was terrifying because it was, the roads are starting to ice over,
Mm.
whatnot, and I totally the black ice got me in the end.
Oof.
It was fun, kind of, because they teach you when you're learning to ride a motorcycle is if you get thrown off, go limp, because you'll break less bones. So
Yep, you're right. That sounds like a lot of fun.
well, if you're wearing full gear, it's not too bad getting thrown off a motorcycle. So yeah, you get thrown off. But if you're wearing if you have the helmet and you have leather and you're wearing everything you're supposed to be wearing, it's just like you just bounce on the pavement and it doesn't hurt really. It's kind of more of a shock of fact that you're face down and you're skidding across the asphalt. All you can think of is I'm really happy I have a helmet because this could be my face.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Well, I do have an electric bike, and I ride that to work in the summers.
Ooh.
So it's like a bicycle that you pedal, but then you can go up to 25 miles an hour,
That's cool.
and it's super fun. I have a helmet, and every now and then I go, I wonder if I'm gonna ever wreck this thing. I hope not.
I hope not too.
I don't know. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I love it.
No, I was making fun of you. I was saying it sounds like fun to wreck.
I used to have a motorcycle when I lived in LA for a little bit, and I drove it to work several times, and finally I was like, I gotta sell this thing. All my friends who are motorcycle drivers here have all wrecked multiple times, and I don't like those odds in LA.
Yeah, well,
There is currently a Spotify ad that will not go away, and I want to be careful how I say this because I am not uncaring. And I do understand the value of spreading, awareness of things, but I am so sick of hearing this stupid commercial. Like, I don't know. It's about a lady who lost her son to a motorcycle accident.
Was he not wearing a helmet?
Because of truck. No, she said, she said, I mean, it's all based off of what is being said on the thing, right? But the story is my son did everything he could. He had all the safety gear on and he checked all the directions or looked all the ways, whatever. And he still got hit by a truck and died, right? And that's super sad. And I'm not like belittling that, but I'm almost mad at the advertisers because it's making me hate this poor lady because I'm just tired of hearing her voice.
So they're just advertising to not ride a motorcycle?
No, to be aware of motorcyclists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the point of the ad? What are they trying to sell you or not sell you?
They're trying to really guilt trip you into being aware. And I don't know that I've ever thought that was a good idea. Like, especially if I've heard the I mean, I'm not kidding. They've played this thing so many times that I just want to, like, I'm not mad at her. I need that to be clear. Like, this lady's done nothing wrong. She lost her son. I feel bad, but like, I'm mad at Spotify, like, play me another ad. I don't want to hear it anymore.
For barraging you with it.
Yeah. And it's not because I feel like guilty.
A lesson, Fuzzzy.
No,
I learned a lesson.
Yeah, you know me going out hitting all those motorcyclists. That's all I do with my free time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is such a strange thing to even try to say to people because it's like it's hard enough to say this without sounding heartless. I just don't want to hear it anymore. I feel like it's counterproductive at this point.
Yeah,
it kind of desensitizes the severity of it.
Yeah,
you hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
And I don't know, like, she is the poor lady, and she's trying to do this for the right reasons. Like, she didn't know that they were going to play it 50 million times in my ear and make me actively want to go out and look for a motorcyclist. Like, I just...
There's a steel pen fiddler. Has a good point. Seriously, Spotify purposefully makes ads obnoxious. They really want you to buy premium. And I'm just thinking, like, maybe they did numbers run on which ads were causing people to go premium just on how annoying they were, and that ad was just the most annoying. So maybe you're just,
that's so upsetting.
Yeah, but I mean that's horrible. They're exploiting that situation in order to make people join premium for Spotify. That'd be horrible. Oh
my gosh. I mean, that makes perfect sense, which is so much worse, but...
it's like a Facebook ad, except it's Spotify.
Hi, Cam.
Welcome, Cam.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Cam.
Hello.
Hi.
We're talking about uplifting things.
Yep.
Hooray!
Do you want to save us from ourselves?
Sure.
Actually, it's my fault, so just save us from me, please.
Save us from Fuzzzy.
Get on a motorcycle.
Oh, jeez, man. Get on a motorcycle and just wait.
Just wait. Your time will come.
According to this commercial, you will. It's only a matter of time.
Sorry, it's a little loud, guys.
The sound of child's laughter brings joy to my heart.
Aw. Oh, that's really cute. They have a little sprinkler system playing in the cul-de-sac. And they're running around in it.
That's awesome.
Aw. See, it's not even raining here. We need to make our own rain.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. Oh. So
Pause precipitation.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually used Microsoft Paint for a second to help me out.
Nice.
What for?
Paint. Because Clip Studio was crashing and I took a screenshot of my thumbnail and pasted it in Microsoft Paint. But it's fine. It was just thumbnail sketches, so it's okay if it's all pixely. I tried to resize something a little too big.
You add a few extra zeros. You don't mean to.
Yeah, it's taking up like 12,000 bytes of memory or something. But okay. Sorry, Clip.
What?
Yeah, it was. A little too much.
Man, did I kill the conversation when I showed up?
No.
No. I think everyone just realized how I had ruined it, and so they wanted to get away from it.
Hey Cam, I need to make a little ticker name thing for you.
Ooh.
Can you just tell me what to
Well, my
put
stocks are up 10%.
Cam's screen? All right. So where can people find you
It's at Cam Kendall pretty much anywhere.
at?
Just has to be ELL at the end.
KENDELL.
Yeah.
That's all your socials.
Yeah, so that's Twitter, Instagram. That's about all I use nowadays.
Okay.
Or camkendall.com.
Camkendall.com. Okay.
And then patreon.com/camkendall too.
Patreon.com/ Tell me if this looks right.
Sweet. Perfect. Mm-hmm.
That way, it makes it easier for everyone.
Getting all high tech.
It's the way we roll. What's this that you're working on, Cam?
This is a book cover for a book series called Fart Quest.
Oh my god.
I didn't write it, but I'm not
Sounds-
mad at it either.
I am so excited. Tell me more.
I don't know how much I can say. It's coming out in August. It's like a middle grade novel that's heavily illustrated. There's like 100 plus something illustrations in it, but it's D&D influenced, and obviously from the title, it's got, healthy dose of potty humor.
Fart Quest.
So yeah, this will come from Roaring Brook Press, and the author is Aaron Reynolds. If you've ever heard of him, he wrote, let's see, what is that? Scary Underpants, I think it's called. Children's book.
Captain Underpants?
No, Scary Underpants.
There's a different kind of underpants book for kids?
Yeah, this is like a picture book, like a kid's picture book. And it's got I think on the cover there's like a rabbit and a pair of glowing underwear or something.
Oh, funny.
And I think Creepy Carrots is one of his books as well.
Creepy pair of underwear.
Is that what it is?
As I looked up Scary Underpants, and it's a rabbit with it says creepy pair of underwear.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
And
It's a Frankenstein pair of underwear.
how'd you get this job, Cam?
They just contacted me, found me on Instagram,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Instagram actually gets you work.
Yeah, it does. I would say most of my work nowadays comes through Instagram.
Wow, that's amazing. Does anyone else here get work from Instagram too?
No,
No?
not really.
No.
I would say of all the social media I use, that's probably the one I used most for a long time. And I kind of feel like that's just how social media works. It's like any platform is viable as long as you're willing to put in the time on it, you know?
Yeah.
So like everything else I really wasn't spending a lot of energy on, and so it didn't really turn into much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. That's just my homebrewed theory based on no evidence.
I'm sorry, you probably already answered it. Is this a children's book?
This is a middle grade novel.
Okay.
So, for 8 to 12-year-olds. But it has a lot of illustrations in it. So kind of like, have you read Fortunately the Milk?
No.
Oh, that's a good book. That's
Fortunately.
Neil Gaiman.
What?
Neil Gaiman wrote that, illustrated by Scotty Young.
Oh, of course, got it young. Only the milk.
I think I've heard that name.
You
No,
need
I
to
mean,
look up
Neil
Scott.
Gaiman. No.
Need to do it.
So it's kind of in that same publishing area.
I think what is it? He's most known for right now is the what is it? The one that's Alice in Wonderland.
Are you talking about Scotty Young?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the Oz series for Marvel.
Is it Oz?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, he did that series, and then he does all the the little baby covers of Marvel comics. He's pretty well known for that.
Yeah, I Hate Fairyland.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was Wizard of Oz. I always thought that.
No. He also
Oh.
did Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Oh.
I Hate Fairyland. That's his own intellectual property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I found him through was I Hate Fairyland. Okay. Oh, he did Oz. It's literally called Oz.
Mm-hmm.
I thought somebody else did. Fortunately,
No, he illustrated that.
Such a strange name. Fortunately, the milk.
oh, now I'm confused. So I googled it, and there's two different covers.
Oh.
One says Neil Gaiman, Fortunately the Milk, illustrated by Scotty Young, and the other one says Neil Gaiman, Fortunately the Milk, illustrated by Chris Riddle.
What?
I didn't see the Scotty Young one, which is weird because I don't know who Chris Riddle is.
No, I don't either.
I feel like I would have known about that one before the other one, but
Oh, interesting.
is it actually the whole book re-illustrated? Why would he do that?
I wonder if it's different markets.
What?
Oh, yeah.
European market, American. Sometimes they'll do different covers for those different markets.
Yeah.
Sure, but it doesn't say like covered by Chris Riddle. It says illustrated by.
Yeah, maybe he did the whole thing for a.
That's really strange.
Mysterious.
And I think they're both by the same publishing house.
It could be that like a disagreement between Scotty Young when he started doing his own stuff, you know, like a licensing thing.
But then wouldn't that have just kind of like killed
No, because
that part of the project? Why would there be two versions?
Well, I mean, like if you would still want to have the project, you would just hire another illustrator to redo it, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. You know, like what they did with Star Wars, where they just killed off everybody. They didn't have to.
No, but like, why would you have? I don't understand why there'd be more than one version then.
I don't think
They do that with other books, I guess. Harry Potter comes out continuously with different covers and.
Right, but
It's just to kind of sell to a new market with new imagery, I think.
Yeah.
man, I'm just dumb.
It's just like multi-covers in comics, you know? You could get the cover by so-and-so.
So question is, when did each one come out? We're going to detective this thing out.
Yeah, I feel like I need to. What was the guy's name again? I've already forgotten. Riddle?
Chris Riddle.
His name is even part of it.
It's a riddle.
Chris Riddle. Fortunately.
Okay, the one that Scotty illustrated says it's first edition, first printing in 2013.
Well.
So
Ooh. Oh. Chris Riddle's not too bad.
Chris Riddle also published 2010. What?
Even more confused than I was before. Fantastic.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I wonder if, and this would be incredibly cool, like there's no reason to do it, but I wonder if Neil Gaiman was just like, he was trying out artists and he couldn't decide, so he just chose to go with both.
You never know. If I had the money, I would definitely have different artists do my stories.
Freaking Neil Gaiman, I'm sure he's doing well.
Okay, one is a US edition, one is a UK edition.
Okay. That settles it.
Kablam! Just call me Sherlock. Where's my pipe?
And don't call me Shirley. Oh, that's a wrong joke.
No, it's a good book though. If you haven't read it, it's a good read.
Park Quest?
No, well, yeah, that too actually.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
Oh, I need this book in my life. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's for my daughter. It's me.
Yeah.
For my daughter.
Well, you're not wrong.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. And if you know the answer, well, no. How would I say this? If if you heard other people talk about this, don't give it away. No, I don't know how to. Whatever. Okay. So you know the game Monopoly, right?
Uh-huh.
Describe what the Monopoly character has. What he looks like.
He does not have a monocle.
You see, you can't.
Oh, he
you
just
can't
told you.
answer the question. You know the answer.
Well, what the heck? I mean, you asked me. What?
I said, if you know where I'm going with this, you can't answer it.
I didn't know that was.
Oh,
weird.
just screwed it up. Okay, do you guys?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired.
Monopoly. Do you think of a guy with a monocle, or do you not think of a monocle?
I think of the mustache and the top hat, maybe.
Yeah, top
I
hat.
don't have one.
I think of spats first. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
That's a good point. And he has a white mustache and kind of like a white comb over. Which
Come over.
Ooh.
He's totally bald. He doesn't have a comb over.
I thought he had a little bit.
No,
He's
he
not
has
totally bald.
lines on the side of his head.
Yeah, that's what like the start.
That's a
of
come over. Right?
Oh wait, no, there is a version of him with a monocle though.
Is that an edited version?
No,
That's Mr. Peanut.
That's got to be
No.
an edited version.
no. There's a like the old Bills have him with a monocle.
Mm.
All right. I'm more
Because,
detective work.
because someone brought it up, and my wife and I both were like, the first thing we said was monocle, and then we looked it up, and there was no monocle, and we were like,
Maybe they're just messing with people.
Yeah.
Isn't it because he's holding in one of the scenes on the cards? He's either holding a monocle or a like a magnifying glass on one of the cards.
I didn't see any monocle or magnifying glass when or maybe a magnifying glass.
Rich
Oh,
Uncle
hold
Penny
on.
Bags.
Wait a sec.
What a name.
He did not originally have a monocle, and all right.
What was his name?
Uncle
Rich
Pennybags.
Uncle Pennybags.
Rich.
Yeah, actually,
Contrary to popular belief, Rich Uncle Pennybags does not have a monocle, and the confusion may come from another advertising icon, Mr. Peanut, who in
Yep.
fact does wear a monocle.
oh, that's what it is.
Mhm.
News media and popular culture have referenced Rich Uncle Pennybags wearing a monocle, and this misconception has been cited in an example of the Mandela effect.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Science.
I don't think he has spats either.
Okay, now I'm looking him up.
So picture them in your mind, and then look it up and see if it's all right or all wrong.
Right,
Oh,
so
man.
all wrong.
oh, there's different versions. I was almost right. Oh, yeah, right. He is balder than I remembered. There's just a couple little lines.
But he wears the hat, right? So I never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people have edited the mascot to have a monocle.
I was thinking a whole tux, but it's like gray pants and a red bow tie. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, and a cane. Oh, I forgot about that. Oops. It's kind of fun.
He doesn't have spats in some of them, but he does in others.
Mm-hmm.
Spats.
What a great word.
It really is.
Mhm.
I got spats just for my wedding day. So I was like, I'm gonna
Ooh.
have spats.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Spats.
I'm not a spats guy.
God dang it.
You
I don't
know,
even-
not everyone can be as classy. Okay. I'm saying this to the guy who gets dressed up every day for work.
Well, obviously not today.
No, I didn't look.
Yeah, I'm in a t-shirt because I'm not kidding when I say, I don't know if you can see, but
You just woke up.
there's a bed behind me.
No, there's no bed.
There's a, what?
There is no bed.
There's a, oh, you can't see it.
You
It's
think
so
on that
frustrating.
I can see a bed.
There's a bed behind me, and It's not my bed, or I guess it's not our bed, like from our.
Wait,
bed.
was this the room you're always working? Or is this a different room?
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I feel like I need to be Morpheus in this situation and be like if reality is just your senses, then how do you know it's real?
Oh gosh. But yes, I never leave this room.
Okay.
I need help.
Period.
Do you want to make me some coffee?
That's not what I mean. I was wondering. I've got multiple versions of the logo, and I was wondering if people would want to like pick their favorites.
Cute.
Yeah. Let me get you on screen.
Sun and earth and everything.
And where's your king?
Okay. So got this one. This is the one that I put up on the actual comic already. So, and then there's one where the J is the umbrella hook or handle, whatever.
I wouldn't do that.
No?
The ring said as man.
You got to make the if you want to do it, you got to make the handle bigger so that it's prominent that it's supposed to be a J.
Yeah, it could be like that blue color handle.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Just
idea.
make it a little bigger so it goes up.
Uh,
Is that the first one? Is just like that with the
what? Sorry. No. What do you
what's
mean?
the
What?
first one?
Which one? This
What was
one?
the first one? Okay. all right.
Ooh, yeah.
See, I like the look of this one, but the idea of the J being the umbrella was almost too cool to. I don't know.
It's a good idea. It does look way more busy though.
Yeah, it's harder to tell what groups together. Like this could be Origami and the Rain-Soaked Princess as man. And that's just super confusing. I don't think that's what you're going for.
It's
What a great point. I appreciate that.
No, it's really cool, but yeah, the first one is definitely a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And then I think I have this one where it's like I don't know, like it's outlined instead.
First
But
one.
I don't.
First one still.
All right. Well then,
When I saw the first one, it reminded me a little bit of Ghibli. I don't know if you want to avoid that, but it just kind of has it like.
oh, that's great. That's a wonderful compliment, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I looked at Ghibli logos and I was like, I just want something that works, you know.
I like that one.
All right. Well, thank you for your help. I apologize for bothering you all.
No, it's always fun to see different ways of navigating through different ideas and design elements and problem solving. Because I would have thought that, like, oh yeah, that would have been really fun to make the J as the hook, but
Yeah, it didn't. It does just look better this way, I think.
agreed.
Hey, Art. Art's in the chat.
I can leave if you guys want to throw them on.
Well, I'm actually getting pretty hungry. So I'm gonna have to shut this down. Unless you guys want to keep going and do that complicated juggling game that we did last time.
No,
Mm-mm.
No.
it was a fun experiment.
Yeah.
But no.
I think
Probably
we
Art's gonna start doing his own stream here pretty soon, anyways. 'Cause he usually does. He wants to say something offensive.
Does every stream have to end this way?
You gotta lead it though, so Jason has time to do it.
Yeah. I need some sort of cue for you guys so that it can happen a little naturally.
You know what? I think all motorcyclists. I'm gonna stop.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready, man. Yeah. Okay. Well, almost 3:00.
Been streaming for almost 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Sequence I'm working on. Let me show you guys if you want to see it. Actually, let me open up the page before it. My computer's thinking too hard.
Ooh, that's a crazy face on the bottom right there.
I love it.
Hey.
That's awesome.
His eye is a little crooked. I'm gonna need to fix it. Yeah. Oh, it's
you
funny.
look like a mellow dude.
Oh, my computer's thinking. Watch, this crashed and it's not coming back.
Oh no.
No. All right, I'll put it on one of your screens for now. Phew. I thought I almost lost my gray values. But
Oh, man. Glad you didn't.
Did it save finally?
Yeah. All right, guys. You want to share? Like, should we go through us and share what you guys are working on, where you can find you, and then we'll close this thing down?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's see. We'll start with you, Mia.
All right.
Put
Well,
your little ticker on there. Ding.
so I'm working on a comic called Paradox Theorem, which is my personal story. It's about a pessimistic parkour kid who gets thrown into some sci-fi adventures and tries to avoid friendships and cyborgs and monsters badly. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. I'm working on trying to get the Patreon page kind of up. Still trying to figure out what would be best for me to give to people and what would just be like, not necessary. But you can, I guess, follow me on Instagram if you want to be updated when the actual comic goes live. And then you can find the Patreon link on my website, which is down below.
Nice. All right. Then we'll go to you, Zach. There's your ticker.
You can find me on Twitter, and I'm doing Golma, which apparently I was told last night means shoe in Spanish or something. Or leather. I can't remember. But so go support my shoes.
All right. And then we got Fuzzzy.
Yay. I've got two things going on, and they're both submissions for the Webtoon contest. So go and check it out if you can. Go to Webtoons and search Dead Air or search Origami Princess, and show your support if you can. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And Jessica, I don't see your screen anywhere, so I'll just put you on
Is it
screen.
not,
Huh?
is it being shared?
There's nothing being
Really?
shared for you right now. So we'll go to Cam first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so when I'm not working on client work, I do a webcomic, Choose Your Gnome Adventure at, you can read it at gnomecomic.com. And each page you get to vote on what happens, and then that affects the next page. And the voting is for patrons. You can go to patreon.com/CamKendall for that.
Nice. And you're working on Fart Quest.
And on FartQuest.
Jessica, I saw your screen pop up and then it disappeared again.
Oh man, it's not working today. Here, let's try this. How about now?
There we go.
All right. So I'm working on a little prelude for my graphic novel that I'm right now calling Stella Space Angel. And you can find my work at jessicavanderpool.com or at the Instagram at vanderjess10. So more updates coming soon. And yeah, more on this to come.
Nice.
Awesome work.
Right. And then you can follow me right here on YouTube. Thanks for subscribing. You can become a member if you want. And I'll give you access to Phobos, this comic I'm working on. And that's all we got. So how do we end this thing?
So, Fuzzzy, what's your opinion on motorcyclists?
I think they should all just